play back with your host, Andrew Romanella.
I don't think I'm good enough in this spot based on my own personal mental health, so I can't continue. In a pear tree. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com. And we broadcast live on YouTube and X. I am Andrew Romanella. I am your host for the rest of the morning. We have 32 minutes. Then we have college football playoff game number 1. Then we have college football playoff 2, 3, and 4. The National Football League on a Saturday and a Sunday. What a weekend of sports coming up. So I hope you are locked and ready to roll. If you aren't, that is why the Rome Show is here, so we can get you ready for the weekend, whether that's just getting ready to watch the right game, getting ready to have sports on while you party, or to win a lot of bananas in the realm of banana handling. Whatever your scenario for sports this weekend is, the Rome Show's trying to get you ready. So here's our rundown. We'll talk Thursday night football. We will give you the college football playoff schedule, starting with the Notre Dame game tonight, rolling through Saturday. We got some statistics for you on the college football playoff. And then, as we do every Friday, it's a Friday of football. So we bring you through week 16 of the National Football League. For those that might not have realized this, and every year this happens to me, then we get to this weekend and I remember, oh yeah, the National Football League's been playing on Saturdays for like the history of my lifetime. Well, you got 2 on Saturday this weekend in the National Football League, 12 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday. So if you start yesterday with the Broncos versus the Chargers, you have a Thursday night, 2 Saturday, 12 Sunday, and 1 Monday. If there's ever somebody that wonders what's the most popular sport in America, if there's anyone that wonders moving forward what's America's pastime is the National Football League. You can give me your opinions on YouTube or X. We could put those live on the show. Just head to 12OZ Sports on both. That's 12OZ Sports on all the social medias. That's the mothership. Follow them. They're elite. And then if you want to get to me and the show directly, it's The Rome Show 1. That's The Rome Show, the number 1. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, the whole allotment of social media. Find us there. I wore the new Rome Show Make Football Club hoodie as we get ready for week 16. Just so the people are aware, this Rome Show custom edition special make. This is not going to be an item that we're selling over time. We are going to make the Rome Show Football Club hoodie in a few different colors. We're going to make it in some sizes, and we are going to make it a limited time offering. So if you really like the Rome Show Football Club hoodie, you want to go ahead and reach out to the Rome Show 1 on the DMs. Probably releasing these officially after Christmas. Want to give the people something cheap and exciting after the Christmas holiday. Because the bottom line is we are 5 days away from the big guy sliding through our chimneys and leaving the presents under the tree. And I'm a firm believer that the week or 2 leading up to Christmas is a very difficult time for most people. Not because of the buying of the presents or because of the scheduling or the amount that you have to do stuff, because most people want to be selfish. Most people go to the store and they're like, I want to buy that for myself. And the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas are so hard, at least for me. I don't know if anyone else can relate. Because I'm in like Dick's Sporting Goods shopping for my fiance, and I'm like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. I'm like, dude, you're here for the Christmas presents. So for me, the last week or 2 of Christmas is so hard because I'm like, okay, I can't justify buying myself anything December 12th and on, because I'm like, well, I did tell my fiance I kind of wanted that for Christmas. So like, what if she bought me that? Or my mom's asked me what I was looking for, and I kind of mentioned these 3 things, and you just don't want to take the risk that you buy your own, then you get it gifted to yourself. So here at the Rome Show Shop, we thought, you know what? Let's play into this. We ain't going to release anything before Christmas. You got what you want. You know what you need. It's a wild time. We're good. The Rome Show is going to come in after the fact and say, oh, you're unhappy. You didn't get the hoodie you wanted, or you like what you got. But man, that Rome Show Football Club hoodie could really fit into the repertoire. Bam! Here comes the Rome Show, cheap, comfortable hoodie, doesn't shrink, great logo, bam. So just pay attention to the Rome Show Shop after Christmas, and you can get your post-Christmas needs. Last night in the National Football League, the Broncos needed a victory to make it to the postseason, and unfortunately, the Broncos, they blew an 11-point lead. Yep. They only scored 6 points in the second half of this game last night, and the Justin Herbert-led Los Angeles Chargers have really positioned themselves to make it to the postseason in the first year under John Harbaugh's lead. So here's how this game played out. The Broncos scored 21 points in the first half. It was 21-10 with like 5 seconds left in this contest. The Chargers, they get the ball punted to them by the Broncos. There is a rule in the National Football League where if a fair catch is called on the punt, you are allowed to free reign, no one running at you, kick the football like a field goal as a field goal for 3 points from a kickoff position. You might be saying to me, what are you talking about, Andrew? I know. The same thing happened to me last night. It was 21-10. I saw there was like 3 seconds left. I leave the television to watch a different show for the halftime break, and then I'm going to come back to the game. I come back to the game at the start of the second half, and it's 21-13. So I go onto my computer, and I can't really see anything more than field goal made. Then I wake up this morning, and I learn a whole lot more about what a fair catch kick is. So I tell you all this, not just because it was the first time in like 60 years that a kick like this has happened in a football game, but I truly think that was a momentum swing for the Chargers, because here are the Broncos on the road, about to go into the halftime break 21-10 and really doing everything they want, and having Justin Herbert sputtering. He only threw for 93 yards and an INT in the first half compared to Bo Nix, 155 and 2 TDs. And then because your coaching staff is prepared and ready for the moment, you take advantage of a rule that most people don't even know exists in the National Football League. You catch the fair catch, and then because you have the option to automatically attempt a kickoff, a field goal from that position, you do that. And Dicker the kicker to 13, and then the Chargers come out in the second half and they outscore the Broncos 21-6, including 15 points in the fourth quarter. And that ended up being a gigantic play, because now obviously the Chargers, they win by 7 points, but that just changes the going into the locker room feel for both teams. And in the second half, it was all Chargers. Bo Nix threw for 108 yards. So he had 155 in the first half, 108 in the second half. There was no running game for either team. Gus Edwards was the leading rusher in this game with 68 yards, 2 TDs. His longest run was 43. Neither of them were a touchdown. But at the end of the day, the Chargers needed a victory. Herbert threw for 185 in the second half and 2 TDs. And they came back, they got the victory. And now, as it looks in the AFC, the Broncos could have secured their playoff victory last night. They didn't. And because of that, the Chargers, they stay alive, but they also keep the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Bengals alive. That's the wildest part about this scenario. Colts, Dolphins, Bengals, all 6-8. Chargers, 9-6. Broncos, 9-6. So essentially, either of these two teams has to lose the remainder of their games. The Dolphins, the Bengals, or the Colts have to win the remainder of their games and then have the tiebreaker. So So be it. An easier scenario to determine if the Denver Broncos would have won. A whole lot more fun down the stretch for the football fan because the Chargers did win. But that would be the biggest thing I would say before we move on here. If the Chargers want to be a team that can make a run in the playoffs, they're going to need to figure this running game out. J.K. Dobbins got hurt a few weeks ago, and that has been a huge factor for this team. I do believe there's no team that is really better than the Chargers in terms of adjustments. I think that's the Harbaugh advantage. But the running game for this team is going to be something they're going to have to clean up before they get into the postseason. Just to finish on this game, I want to show you the highlight that led to the go-ahead touchdown for the Chargers that put them ahead in the second half and had them not looking back. Watch this play from Justin Herbert on the run, opposite of his throwing arm. Watch the dime, watch the play. That is some great football play on a Thursday night. We had a good game last night. Taking my Dolphins fanship out of it, man, it's going to be a lot of fun down the stretch in the AFC, starting with Week 16 this weekend. What we're going to do is we are going to take a quick break, okay? Then we'll come back and we will talk college football playoffs and Week 16 in the National Football League. We're going to run you through the football playoffs. We'll run you through Week 16 in the National Football League, and then we will give you our picks for the weekend. Spoiler alert, we're picking college football, no doubt in my mind, especially coming off a 3-0 night last night with the Broncos and the Chargers. It's the Rome Show. It's 12ouncesports.com. It's you, the listener. We're back after this commercial break.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
It's the Rome Show!
Yeah, the Rome Show. 12ouncesports.com. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy and healthy holidays. Andrew Romanella, the Rome Show, 12 Ounce Sports. We're here every day, 7 a.m. Next week, we will be on Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Christmas Eve is Tuesday, and Christmas Day is Wednesday, and the Rome Show will be spending those days with his family and his beautiful fiance. So I'm very excited about that. Speaking of Christmas presents, before the break, if you look to my right here while you're watching, I think it's your left, I got two fire hats sitting on my table here. Recently, I became an ambassador for what's called Shank It Golf. No, I don't shank it golf. If you were in the studio and you could read this scorecard right here, that's a 75. However, The name of the company and my game don't line up, but the apparel does. This one right here is a cotton candy painted multicolored hat. We got the shoestring going across the bottom. Really fire logo with the skull and the golf club. Multiple colors, love that. And then the simple American flag, which I think everybody can agree with. It's got the vents too in the hat. I don't know if you know what that means, the perforated vents. It's fire. All different stuff. Super cheap too, by the way. And I want to make it cheaper for you. You can go to shankitgolf.com and use the promo code Andrew Romanella. So super simple, my name. You hear it every day. Andrew Romanella at shankitgolf.com. And I think it's like 15% off. I'll put the referral code in my Instagram profile as well, because we want those discounts for people. The Rome Show shop, your discount is Rome. Shankitgolf.com, your discount is Andrew Romanella. 12-ounce sports, discount Rome Show. I mean, it's just, we got discounts everywhere for you. It's just up to you to use them. And I hope you are. Tonight, the first ever 12-team college football playoff gets kicked off, starting with number 10, Indiana, traveling to number 7, Notre Dame. That is an 8 p.m. kickoff tonight in college football. Let's give you a rundown on what the weekend looks like. First and foremost, the Indiana versus Notre Dame game tonight. Then tomorrow, Penn State hosts number 11 SMU at home, starting at 12 p.m. You can find that game on TNT and Max. Tonight's game is on ESPN and ABC. Then at 4 p.m. tomorrow, December 21st, number 12 Clemson travels to number 5 Texas. That game can also be found on TNT and Max. So just saddle in when you turn on the 12 o'clock SMU Penn State battle. And then to finish the first round of the 12-team college football playoff, we have University of Tennessee at number 8 Ohio State, the 9-8 matchup. That game on ABC and ESPN. Here are your betting lines for the contests this weekend. You have Indiana at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by 7 points, and the total over under in that game is 51.5. SMU at Penn State. Penn State is favored by 8.5 points in this contest. The total 53.5. Clemson at Texas. Texas is favored by almost 2 touchdowns, 12 points in this game. 51.5 is the total. And then finally, the 8 p.m. tomorrow night final contest, first round, Tennessee at Ohio State. Ohio State is favored by 7.5 in this contest, a total of 45.5 in that game. I got some statistics for you here that hopefully will allow you to make some decisions on where you're putting your bananas this weekend. First, in terms of total yards, there is a fun matchup this weekend in terms of total yards. There are fun matchups, poor English, in terms of total yards, points per game, and opponents' points per game. So we wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like. Number 8 in total yards all season is Tennessee at 462.9. The first round of the 12-team playoff has 6 different teams that are top 25 in terms of total yards per game. Those teams are Tennessee, Clemson, Penn State, Texas, and SMU. SMU is number 21 in the nation at 443.1 yards per game. Tennessee's number 8 in the nation at 462.9. So those 5 teams alone are between 430 and 470 in terms of yards total every single game. That's going to be a lot of offense. Defenses are going to look to slow down. In terms of points per game, number 2 in the nation, Indiana University at 43.3. Number 3 in the nation at 39.8 is Notre Dame. Number 6 in the nation, SMU, 38.5. Number 8 in the nation, Tennessee, 38.3. Clemson and Ohio State tied at 15 with 35.5 points per game. These statistics showing you why these teams end up in the college football playoff. But you probably notice, opponents' points per game really low for some of these teams, which is going to be their bread and butter in this college football playoff, starting with Ohio State, who is the number 1 team in the nation in terms of opponents' points per game, giving up only 10.9 points per game. Here's the crazy thing, though. They take on Indiana, who's only given up 14.7 points per game. And then Penn State and Texas are the only other 2 teams in the top 15 in terms of opponents' points per game, whereas Texas, 12.5, they're number 2 in the nation, and Penn State, 16.4, they're number 8 in the nation. So top 25 teams, not just ranking wise, but in the statistical category all across the board. You see why Notre Dame versus Indiana is going to be a really good game. You have 2 of the top 6 scoring defenses in the nation and the 16th best scoring offense against the 2nd best scoring offense in the nation. So it's a something's got to give scenario tonight in Indiana. Then you got to also look at the Ohio State-Tennessee matchup. Ohio State, they score points 35 a game, but that's not what you look at. You look at the fact that they can hold offenses down. And this Tennessee team is 8th in the nation in total yards per game and 8th in the nation in points scored. So you're really looking at a juggernaut on defense against a juggernaut on offense. For Texas, what is Quinn Ewers? Are people going to be screaming for Arch Manning, or can Quinn Ewers lead you to where you need to be led? And finally, for Penn State, who are you, man? You always find a way, if you're Penn State, to lose the big game. In James Franklin's career, the knock has been not being able to find a way to win the big game. I think this is a different scenario for Penn State today. I think this is a different Penn State team. Maybe they did lose to Ohio State 20-13 earlier in the season, and we all felt like that was a chance for them. Maybe they have lost some games over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, but this Penn State team feels like they got a good matchup in SMU. They can slow the Mustangs down, but B, just feels like the Penn State team that can get over the hump. Someone's got to do it. Someone has to do it for the Nittany Lions. It could be this 2024 number 6th ranked team hosting a first round playoff game. We'll go to the NFL, and then for Daily Bananas, we'll come back and give you our predictions in the college football playoff. Again, first game tonight, next 3 Saturday. I really don't understand why college football didn't play like this entire day and last night and tonight as their 12-team playoff. I mean, the second most popular sport in this country behind the National Football League is probably the NCAA Division I college football ranks. But do you really want to go up against the National Football League in terms of ratings? There's only like 3 Saturdays the National Football League uses. I would never want to go up against them, but it seems to be college football, so we'll go to toe-to-toe. So you have 2 National Football League games on Saturday and 3 college football games. So from 12 o'clock to 11 p.m., I'm going to imagine most people are going to be significantly glued to their television. Let's bring you through that Week 16 National Football League schedule. All right. Like I said, 2 Saturday, 12 Sunday, 1 Monday. We will go through the Saturdays and the Sundays. Starting with 1 p.m. Saturday, Texans at Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes has been cleared for this contest. I don't know if the Chiefs should be playing Patrick Mahomes, but they're going to. And that, to me, gives me a belief that the Chiefs can come out and play really well. They're at home. The temperature is going to be colder. The Texans are a team that play indoors, and the Chiefs are finally coming off a victory where they covered the spread. Yeah! Good job, Chiefs. With that being said, they're favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm actually going to take that. Give me the Chiefs at the -3.5. The Steelers, they travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. This game could essentially seal the deal for the AFC North. The Steelers are 10-4. The Ravens are 9-5. But Baltimore favored in this game by 6.5. I'm very surprised by that number. I think the Steelers are a better team, and I think the Steelers travel way better than being essentially underdogs by a full touchdown. I'm going to take the Steelers here at the +6.5. I would take that if it's Russell or if it's Justin Fields. I don't think the Ravens, I think they're really good. I don't think they're such a good team this year that they're blowing 10-4 teams out by more than a touchdown. Steelers plus the 6.5. We're on to Sunday. 49ers at Dolphins. Everyone probably originally thought this could be a game for playoff seeding when the schedule was released. Now, this is a game for, are either of us going to mathematically stay alive going into week 17? The Dolphins are favored by a point here. It's essentially a pick 'em. The Dolphins are at home. The 49ers have some turmoil. I'm going to pick the Dolphins here for the mere fact that it would only be the Miami Dolphins that would lose all these games, come back and win a bunch, have Tua get hurt, have a chance, then lose, give everyone a lack of hope, and then they'd find a way to finish 9-8. It just would be the Dolphins. I think the 49ers, I said it last week, it's just not their year. So I'm just going to keep probably picking against them until we reset this entire thing in the off season. Dolphins -1. Giants, Falcons. Giants suck. Falcons starting Michael Penix Jr. for the first time. Haven't talked a lot about this week. A lot of other people have. Kirk Cousins being benched. We have a lot of time to talk about what happens with the last 3 years and $70 million of Kirk Cousins' contract. But for now, Michael Penix is the starter for the Giants, and he's the first quarterback in like 100 years. That's a rookie making his first start to be favored by more than a touchdown. The Falcons favored by 8.5 in this contest. I want to say that's crazy, but I can't. Because again, like I said last week, don't trust the Giants. So I'll take Michael Penix Jr. in his first career start against a lowly New York Giants football team, and I'll take the Falcons at the -8.5. By the way, the over-under in this game is 42.5. Hammer the under. Rookie quarterback, no quarterback for the Giants. Hammer the under. Lions at Bears, bounce back game for Detroit, even though they're insanely injured. And it's almost impossible to win this division because of how good the Vikings and Green Bay is playing. Detroit is inching closer to doing that. Lions favored by 6.5 at the Bears. I just don't trust the Bears. Give me the Lions at -6.5. Browns at Bengals. Cincinnati's favored by 9 in this game. I don't trust the Browns anymore. For a while, I could trust their defense to keep it within covering the spread. Not anymore. Give me Cincy at +9. They'll stay alive. Mathematically, Colts hosting the Texans. Colts favored by 3.5. Give me the Colts -3.5. Texans don't have a quarterback, neither do the Colts. So it's a battle of bad quarterback teams. Rams at Jets. Rams are favored by 3 in this game. It's wild how good Stafford, Kupp, and Nakua are when they're together on the field. It's insane how bad they are when they're not. Kyron Williams is running the rock well, already over 1,100 yards and 12 TDs on the season. Give me the Rams at the -3. Eagles at Commanders. Philly favored by 3.5 in this game. You're going to be surprised by this pick, but I'm going to take the Commanders at the +3.5. I'm not saying the Commanders are going to win this game, but I think it's going to be a really tight game, won by a field goal late. I think Saquon Barkley by week 17 is over 2,000 yards. He's 312 yards away from being over 2,000 right now. I don't think he's going to get 312 against the Commanders. I think by the end of week 17, heading into 1 week left in the season, Saquon's over that 2,000 mark. Again, Commanders +3.5. Cardinals, they're going to Carolina. They are favored by 5 points. I'll take the Cardinals by the 5. They're 7-7 right now. Vikings, they travel to Seattle. They're favored by 3 points. I'll take the Vikings by the 3. Seattle's hanging on by a nose here to stay alive for the playoffs. Patriots at Bills. The Bills are favored by 14 points. This is like the third spread this year we've seen by over like 12.5. But you know what? I got to take the Bills in this scenario. Josh Allen's playing too good, probably the MVP. Their defense is really starting to play better. And the Patriots, they don't have an offense or a quarterback. So Bills -14. Raiders at Jags. Hosting the Jags. The Raiders are favored by 1.5 here. And they shouldn't win this game. Therefore, I'm taking the Raiders by the 1.5. They're going to win this game and kill their number 1 overall pick opportunity. Then finally, the Cowboys. They host the Buccaneers. And you'd think the Cowboys should be favored in this game on paper and based on what we all thought was going to happen. Now, the true paper says you got to take the Buccaneers, who are playing really good football. Baker has 32 touchdowns on the season. So be it 14 interceptions, but that's always been Baker. The Bucs playing good defense, playing good offense, complimentary football. You got to love that. Only favored by 4 on the road. I will take the Buccaneers at the -4. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your Week 16 picks. Obviously, follow the Instagram, because if you follow the Instagram, we will put those picks out every weekend, and then you can follow them, and you can win your bananas. Let's finish this show with our favorite segment.
Ba 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 banana, ba 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 banana.
All right, I'll make it quick. Since we just went through, wrong theme song, there it is. I'll make it quick since we just went through the NFL. I told you I was going to come back to college football for our picks, so here they are. I'm going to take them straight up right here, all right? 4 different spreads, 4 different picks for the Rome Show. I got Notre Dame at -7 against Indiana. I got Tennessee at +7.5 against Ohio State. Don't trust Ohio State enough to cover over a touchdown spread. I got SMU plus the 8.5 against Penn State. I think Penn State wins the game, but I think SMU's offense is good enough that they can cover. Whether they're down by 14 or not late, they can move the football and score points. And then finally, I'm going to take Texas at the -12. Clemson barely squeaked by to get to this point, and I think Texas, good, bad, or indifferent, is a good enough football team to put Clemson down. Those are my picks, ladies and gentlemen, for the weekend. I hope they win you some bananas. They've been winning me some bananas, so follow along. I'm Andrew Romanella. Check out all the things we have to offer you at RomeShowShop.com, the promos, 12ouncesports.com. There's just so much. Follow along. Head to YouTube, subscribe, do the dang thing. Be electric this weekend. Have a blast watching so much football. Andrew Romanella saying peace.
Thank you for listening.